DC's finest, heading into the Hall of Fame. Keith Holmes joins us now. Keith, what's going on? Let's see. Is your mic? Looks like your mic might be off. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's here. Him has arrived. Look at him, baby. Looking all good. Go ahead. That brain looks good on you, son.
Oh, yeah. this shows my youth.
I was gonna say, don't let it fool you.
Now, okay, now Keith, I'm sitting next to my wife. Now, my wife loves DC, Keith Holmes, but I have a feeling you also love DC. It's not gonna be a fight now of who loves DC the most. but Keith, as you head to the Hall of Fame,
congratulations.
Tell us how much you love DC and how much it influenced you to become the great boxer, one of the greatest boxer to come up out of DC. Can you share that with us?
Yes. I love DC so much that I'm still here. And I really want to relocate, not just because I hate DC, but I just want a different feel of life. But DC is a great place. I noticed that growing up that we was always a footstool for a lot of other people, a lot of famous people, and they love DC also. And I know why they love DC, because we really, really support. And I have a lot of supporters, and they felt like this was well deserved. But I'm real humble and laid back. So when I received the call, it was great. It was great coming from DC.
And tell us what I'm from the Midwest. And when I met Allison, we were working in the Midwest, and she, again, loves her city. What did DC arm you with? How did it make you who you are? That's a good question, because, growing up, I had the opportunity to grow up in Southeast and Northeast. My mom was in Southeast and my grandmother was in Northeast. And I had the opportunity to grow up really fast. I was catching the bus probably around 7, 8 years old. My mother would put me on the bus and make me sit by the driver. But I had to memorize all my stops from Southeast to Northeast. And it really built me up, because when you watching struggles, like really, really struggles in Southeast, and you going, like my mom was on welfare, and my grandmother was working. But as I went to both places, it was still struggles. And I was looking at it like I never wanted this. So it built me up to be something different. I never had a job in my life except being independent, and so I took the wrong route growing up, thinking that was going to benefit my family. Actually, it was actually taken away from my family. It was taking me away from my family if I didn't catch a grip to myself. So DC is a place where you definitely have to have grit. I have to have a lot of grit in going through this eclectic society now. It's like really, it's making me want to dig in deep and try to help my people get on board and get off this trail of this destruction that's happening.
Right. It seems that getting involved in athletics is a way to do that. What is the key to trying to stop what we're seeing with a lot of our young people? I was just saying with our previous guest that we're reporting on this all the time on Channel 9 where I am now, and these kids, Keith, they're getting younger and younger. And what is that path? Is it more rec centers, after school programs, a boxing program? What's that answer? What was the game changer for you?
Well, first of all, the adults have to stop getting younger, and they have to stop to help. And if the adults continuing to follow the youth, then how is it that it's a future for the youth? So I come with a different attitude. When they want me to build something in Southeast, I want to build something on the other side, so I can bring the kids out of Southeast and show them Potomac, Montgomery County, and Woodmore, and all of these things that they never seen before. Yeah. So for me, it's a different path and a different understanding. It has to start with us, and we got to bring the children back home. And because the kids are out
like when my mother called me out the window in Southeast, it was like Keith and Dion, that was my brother. And if we didn't answer, we got punished the next day. We couldn't go out. Today, there's no accountability. Kids have no, they're not held under no kind of standards at all.
Yeah.
So how could these kids grow up and be respectful if they are not even taught respect?
Mm.
You know, so that it starts home. It starts at home. You know,
And
and that's it's rough. It's rough, but it could be done.
And you're not only here, you're taking the message as a motivational speaker across the country.
Yes.
You know, how does that, do you find that common ground? And, you know, is it kind of like all the other Washington, D.C.s across the country have almost the same story? Because that's what it feels like when it's, you know, unveiled on television. The same challenges, the same deficiencies, you know, the same problems.
Not really. Not really. It may be in certain places, but when you go down south, I give you South for a prime example. They're still homey people.
Yeah.
They still homey people and they respectful people. And y'all know this. When you riding down south, what they doing on the porch? They waving at you.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And they don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's more homified in certain areas. So I wouldn't say everywhere, but if you go up north, you go up Philly, you go up Atlantic City, New Jersey area, you go up New York, you can see DC, you see a Baltimore, all north is different. I went to South Africa and I spoke to the kids in Soweto, and it was a situation where it was different. It was like the kids were orphans and their parents had passed away from drugs in South Africa, HIV in South Africa, you know, and I had to sit there with kids that was infected with HIV and stuff like that. So that's a different type of adventure for me. So when you're traveling all over the world, then I'm speaking in France, I'm speaking in England, different things, you know. And so you have to, I guess, you create yourself to be what the environment is.
Right.
So
speaking that. I want to ask you about your boxing journey to leading up being inducted, but I have to ask you just about what seems like your holistic approach to wellness, to wholeness, to being a healthy person. I'm always saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to drink this drink or what have you. So give me like 3 keys to, you know, to staying healthy as we get a little older, to make sure our health is in an optimal place.
The first move is the desire. I think you have to desire to want to.
Keith, I got that part.
So do you really have it?
I do really have it. Okay. I'm trying to be around for some grandkids.
Now be careful now. Be careful now.
Look, we're in the screen because we can't square up. We're in the screen. So I'm trying to live I'm trying to retire at a certain point and live like my best life for me entirely, not answering, not getting up at 2:30 in the morning. So I need some keys. I have the desire.
Okay, so if you have the desire, you have to now start to recycle your mind and have people around you that's thinking the same way, that wants to eat the same way. They may not be on the same path, but they don't mind doing it. I was lucky and blessed to have had people in my life that were already vegans, and they was tricking me with food like spaghetti. My father-in-law, who he passed away, he gave me some spaghetti one day. And I say, after I got finished eating, because he didn't like me at first, because I was dating his daughter, and you know, I was growing up the wrong way at this time. And he was a U.S. Marshal, but he was vegan.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, so he knew all about me. So he invited me to his house. He like, then sit down to eat, son. So I sit down to eat, and I don't know if he poisoning me or what. I'm just thinking. So I get finished eating. I'm telling you, I dogged it, right? And after I got finished eating, I said, why did you make me spaghetti with meat in it and you a vegan? He said, son, that wasn't meat. And so from that point on, I realized that I can get that flavor, that same flavor of being a vegan. So that's what made me take on this challenge, because I'm always up for the challenge. That's what boxing makes you. So I was always up for the challenge. So I started to bring that into my life. And then I started to love it. You got to start loving it. You got to start loving it. Love creating recipes. And I'm going to give you a little secret. All you got to do is take
your old recipes and turn it vegan. That's all you got to do. And you can make some great, great food if you already know how to cook. So these are the steps that I took. I took the step of desiring it, wanting to really do this. The second step, I had to be around people that was going down the same path, and whether they, and then I had to be strong enough to, when we went in restaurants, to watch them eat this food and not desire it no more. My desire was totally, after my grandmother passed away, my desire, after I found out why she passed away from her diabetes, and the doctors actually sent me down a path. He said, don't give her fried food no more, just give her baked food. Then after she got sicker, don't give her baked food, just give her boiler food, her chicken. And I was boiling her chicken. Then when she got to in her deathbed, he said, don't give her no more meat, just give her vegetables. And I was like,
oh, wow.
yeah. And
Oh,
so
you didn't start with that, right?
It snapped on me right then and there. She passed. I was already practicing to be a vegan, but after 95, no more. I never ate another animal in my life.
Mhm.
So
Wow. That's that determination. That got in the Hall of Fame.
That's the determination. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, Keith, as we wrap things up, let's talk about that. You know, when's the induction, and how does it feel? I mean, basically, you know, many people have careers. Many people start off with a passion of something that they're good at, but to be honored and something that's going to stand the test of time, it basically says Keith Holmes, this is what he did. How does that feel? Because I think we're at a certain age where we all would love to have that feeling. How does it feel?
I mean, it's a feeling that I never thought I would have the feeling of feeling. Like, because I'm growing up in the projects, and you really don't think. I've never thought about Hall of Fame. I'm thinking football players, basketball players, and all that stuff. I never was thinking about that. My career was based upon winning. That's all I thought about, winning, not knowing that those things came with it at the end of the day. Yeah. So when they called me and told me I was going into the Hall of Fame, I was like, what? You know what I mean? And this is something I never thought about. So has it hit me yet? Probably not, because I'm just laid back about a lot of things, right? So but it feels wonderful. It feels wonderful to go in there. It feels wonderful that I was thought about and considered. And then number two, to go in there as a one-time Maryland State champion, two-time United States champion, and a two-time world champion. So I went in there, I'm going in there like with the apex of the game on my back.
Yes. Well, we are so proud of you. The whole area.
And thank you. The young fighters stand on your shoulders of greatness, my friend.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Now, Keith, how can people follow you, by the way?
So I'm on IG, Keith Holmes World Champ on Facebook and IG and TikTok. And also the Lord Kicker, I'm getting ready to get into throwing amateur fights. So my next amateur fight is on March the 16th in Maryland. That's the date I won that's the anniversary of my first championship. So it'll be March the 16th. But Keith Holmes World Champ on IG, Facebook, and TikTok.
Well, thank you, my friend, for joining us. Don't forget about us, man. We have to get you back on close time to the date, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All
right. Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. The Keith Holmes joining us on the show.
Yeah.
What is